off-road, Rod End Supply is an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
KCFX HD4 Harrisonville, K279BI Kansas City, 103.7 FM. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City.
America's largest all-sports radio station presents the number one motorsports show for over 2 decades, Track Talk, brought to you by Rod End Supply and the Power Ride Midwest Lightning Sprints. Here are the racing boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's all brought to you by Rod End Supply, featuring the Power Ride Midwest Lightning Sprints.
Can you believe it's Labor Day weekend already? Where is the summer gone? Man, it's gone fast, hasn't it?
Seems like it.
And the older we get, the faster it goes. Is that the way it goes?
That's how
Hey,
it works.
Kirk, how old are you?
69. I'm older than you.
I'm 65.
Yeah, we're old men. Todd is the young kid.
He's the young
What are
man
you?
around here.
I'll be 50, I don't know, 57
Yeah,
coming
we're-
up this month, this month.
Todd,
Heck, it's
we're
coming
We're
up
just a
quick.
bunch of old guys here that still love racing, you know? That's why we're here every Saturday morning. We appreciate everybody tuning in. This is a big weekend for racing, Scott.
It is.
Got
It
a lot
is.
of things going on. Big paying event out in Washington State at a track you've been to many times, Skagit Speedway.
I've been there many a time.
You have been. That's north of Seattle. How north of the city of Seattle is Skagit Speedway?
It's about an hour north,
That's farther than I thought.
right?
It's not just like in a suburb, is it? It's way north.
Rico won last night.
He did, and he won Thursday night. And he won last year's $100,000 Skagit Nationals. He's, shall we say, Rico has got Skagit Speedway figured out.
Right.
He's struggled a little bit in the Western swing. He hasn't really run all that well in the other races
He's
out
got
west.
$20,000 on the line.
Yeah, well, he won $10,000 on Thursday. He won $20,000 last night, and if he wins tonight, it's $126,000. If Rico can pull it off tonight, he's one of the 4 drivers that are locked in. Which means he doesn't have to run all the preliminary races tonight, except for a dash. He will be running a dash tonight, along with the 4 qualifier winners this evening to line up how the first 4 rows go.
$126,000.
Yeah, $126,000. High limit racing event tonight. So that's probably the biggest race on the card in dirt racing this weekend. The World of Outlaws are up at Houston Speedway, $25,000 on Sunday night. They'll be racing tonight and tomorrow night, the World of Outlaws. Last night they had a 410 sprint car race at Houston's, and guess what? Ryan Timms wins again. He leads every lap starting on the front row, and he wins the championship, takes it away from Caleb Johnson. And not only did Ryan Timms win another feature race, what is that? Is his 5th win now since he won the Knoxville Nationals, and he wins the Houston Speedway season championship. So congratulations to Ryan Timms. And, you know, now he's going to be battling with the Outlaws again. Can Ryan Timms
Win with the Outlaws.
win with the I'd say, yeah, he's already
Yep.
proven he can do that. So he knows how to get around Houston Speedway. So it'll be interesting to see how he and Buddy Kofoid go at it tonight. Kofoid, you know, has run very well at Houston Speedway, won all that money back in June. And I would say Buddy Kofoid would have to be the favorite, but you'd have to throw Ryan Timms in the mix tonight. So we'll see how that goes this weekend. Again, tonight and tomorrow night for the World of Outlaws at Houston Speedway. And we got some other sprint car races to talk about as well. Of course, this is a big NASCAR weekend. Southern 500, one of the big ones in NASCAR racing, is going on tomorrow night. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. As we speak, there's supposed to be practice and qualifying at Darlington. I don't see any cars I don't see it on the TV right now. It's supposed to be on True TV, but we'll see. I don't know if they got any weather issues down at Darlington or not, so we'll check into that. We've got True TV up, but I don't see any Cup cars on the racetrack right now, so we'll check that out. But anyway, getting back to sprint car racing, what a night for Xavier Doney. We've got him as a guest this morning, Scott.
We do.
Austin McCarl is the other guest we've got on, and those two guys were duking it out at 34 Raceway in West Burlington, Iowa last night. So how about that? Our two guests that we had on Mostly Motorsports earlier this week, you're going to hear highlights from.
That was quite a race, wasn't it, Kirk?
Very impressive performance by Xavier Doney as he fended off several sliders by Austin McCarl, and then Austin hopped the berm on the back straightaway, got the car sideways, and off the track he went, had the tire go down.
Went into the pit road.
Yeah. So, I mean, but every time Austin McCarl threw him a slider, Xavier had the answer.
Right.
And it was a very impressive performance. His second straight POWRi 410 win after he won at the State Fair Speedway in Sedalia. He did race last Saturday night at Knoxville, 15th up there, but it's his second straight POWRi sanctioned victory, and he does it in most impressive fashion at 34 Raceway. Now we'll see how he does at Lake Ozark Speedway the next two nights. Ayrton Geniton I thought maybe would end up second, but Joe B. Miller got the better of Ayrton for the second place spot last night. So we'll see how things go at Lake Ozark Speedway the next couple of nights. He'll be racing alongside the non-wing POWRi and MWRA sprint cars. So it's going to be a big weekend of non-wing and wing sprint cars at
next
Lake
week,
Ozark.
Kirk, at Lakeside Speedway, the ASCS is going to be there.
They return after getting their event called off because the lights went out here a few weeks back.
Right.
They're going to return to Lakeside Speedway and finish off that program and run another program. So we're going to see two features next Friday night at Lakeside.
The lights have been really good out at Lakeside Speedway, Kirk.
Yep, they fixed the problem, which was a wire that was crushed by a conduit, and they replaced all of that, and the lights seem to be pretty solid since they did that a few weeks ago.
Last night I went to Lakeside Speedway. Tim Carrick was leading when I left.
You thought he was going to win, and you find out he didn't win.
Chad Clancy ended up winning.
So what happened to Carrick? He lost power with about 5 laps to go. Had a pretty solid lead, and something happened. Mechanical problem.
Mechanical problems.
So Chad Clancy, who had been running second up to that point, was able to inherit the lead and pick up the victory at Lakeside.
You know, I thought Tim Carrick was going to win.
Well, yeah. When he's way out in front, if he doesn't break, he wins.
He was way out in front, Kirk.
So Tim Carrick, the driver who will never retire, I could see him racing in his 70s, maybe 80s.
Hey, do you know, back in the day, Tim Carrick stuffed me in the wall at Riverside?
You never forget that, do you?
No, I never forget that.
But you get along with Tim Carrick.
I get along with Tim Carrick.
How were you able to put that aside after that happened? That's so long ago, Scott.
1989.
So how I mean, you get along fine with Tim Carrick. So
I do.
How did you mend fences with him after that?
I just mend the fences with him.
Did you pay him back?
No.
No. But you get along fine with him.
I should have. I should have paid him back.
Well, normally you would, right?
Right.
That was kind of your style.
I was a bullhead. Kirk, you watched me race a little bit.
I did see you race, and you, shall we say, wore the black hat proudly.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, you like ruffling feathers. I remember on the go-kart track, the indoor go-kart track, you rammed into the back of me. and took me out. So you don't treat your business partner very well either.
Right.
So congratulations to Chad Clancy. He inherits the lead after Tim Carrick's mechanical failure and wins the B-Mod feature last night. Randy Foote won the USRA stock cars. Tim Billings in pure stocks, and Zach Boyd winning the E-Mod feature last night at Lakeside Speedway. And next Friday night will be the ASCS Sprint Cars. Big weekend for the ASCS Sprints, as they'll be at Lakeside on Friday.
Are
Saturday
you going to
at
go,
81.
Kirk?
Yeah, I'll be out there, even though the Chiefs are playing at the same time. Sunday night, the 7th, there'll
Is
be
that
an Eagle
going to be
Race
bad?
day. I don't know. I'm going to the races. I can videotape the
Did you just say,
Chiefs game.
is it going to be bad that the Chiefs are having a home opener during the same? Yeah, it's going to be bad. You can't go up against the Chiefs. I mean,
No.
I appreciate the ASCS and everything, but NASCAR can't beat NFL. So
Right.
Here's what I'll say. All the super race fans will be out there. But if there's any doubt that, I'm sorry, it's football season. It's the game one. We
Can't
know
you
what.
watch the game on your phone while at the racetrack and
It's
watch the
game.
races?
It's game number 1 against the Chargers, right?
In Brazil, I suppose if you have the ways to do it,
What time's that kickoff local time?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
I don't know what kind of time zone Brazil is in compared. It's in the same hemisphere.
Yeah, we're here in the same. But yeah, it's going to be. I mean, any other day, and you would have the casual fan would come and see that race. But I'm afraid that it's going to. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, man, but it's the Chiefs at week 1.
Right.
It is what it is.
Well,
but I know one thing: Kirk will be out there taking
Yeah,
care
I'll
of
be-
it for
I'll be
us,
there.
and we'll have all the.
I'll be out there
Yep,
as well.
We'll have all the information on it.
You're going to go to the races when you're such a big, huge Chiefs fan? I would have expected you to stay home and watch the Chiefs.
No, I'm gonna watch the.
Well, good for you.
I'm gonna go to the ASCS races.
We're the racing boys. That's where we should be, at the racetrack.
Hey, Kirk, I'm a big ASCS fan.
Yeah, and Blake Hahn is going to be out there.
Right.
By the way, last night, Jason Martin and Blake Hahn were battling it out at Electric City Speedway in Great Falls, Montana last night. Blake started on the front row. I think Jason Martin was on the right beside him on the front row last night. Sam Averteep Jr., the point leader, had trouble last night. Before the race even started, they had to change an MSD box on his car, and he had to start the back of the field. He got up as high as 7th, then shredded a right rear tire. Then had to go to the back again, but it was all a battle between Jason Martin and Blake Hahn. Blake was able to get the lead off the restart
Right.
following the tire that went down on Sam Haverteep's car, and had the lead for a couple of laps, but Martin had the faster car. He was able to power around the outside. And
he powered around him on the outside.
he did. And Jason Martin went on to the feature victory last night, so they'll do it again tonight at Electric
Were
City.
you surprised that Martin powered around him on the outside?
It looked like, yeah, I am a little bit, because I thought once Blake got the lead that he was going to be able
Right.
to hang on to it, but, really, it looked like Jason Martin had the faster race car last night, but
Right.
Blake gave it a pretty good run, end up in second place, and they had looked like Matt Covington was going to end up with the third place finish last night, but he was beaten at the line for the third place run last night by
Matt Covington.
Garrett Benson. Garrett Benson passed Matt Covington for the third place spot. So pretty good action out in Montana, where last weekend Ryan Timms swept the ASCS 360. Yes, Ryan Timms was in a 360 car last weekend and swept the weekend at Billings, Montana. But now Ryan Timms back in his 410 racing at Houston Speedway. So those are some of the top winners from last night. They did have USAC Midgets racing last night at Bloomington, Indiana, and Gavin Miller wins that race last night at Bloomington Speedway. It looked like Justin Grant was going to be the guy to win, but he had trouble and fell out of the race, so that allowed Kevin Thomas Jr. and Cannon McIntosh to join Gavin Miller on the podium last night at Bloomington Speedway. Had some late model action going on last night out at Lernerville Speedway in Sarber, Pennsylvania. The Hillbilly 100 had its opening night, and Garrett Albertson won the feature event at Lernerville Speedway last night. The finale of that event will go on tonight. They had the Comp Cam late models at Lucas Oil Speedway last night for the Ron Jenkins Memorial. It's a two-night weekend, and Chris Simpson bags the feature event over Gordy Gundaker, R.C. Whitwell, Billy Moyer, yes, the veteran Billy Moyer Sr. fourth, and John Kirby rounds out the top five. They'll finish off the Ron Jenkins Memorial tonight down at Lucas Oil Speedway. So those are some of the top races that went on. There's more to come, so we'll get into a lot of that as the show progresses.
Tony Pittman said, "Good morning, gentlemen."
Good morning, everybody.
Do you know who Tony Pittman is?
Yes. You know him well.
I know him well.
Explain.
He is a kind of a family member to me.
Yeah. Wasn't he a racer too?
He was.
Yeah.
He raced out at I-70 Speedway.
I-70. A lot of history out there. The old I-70 Speedway.
Hey.
When it was pavement. You won a lot of races out there.
I did.
How many features did you win on the pavement in that modified, that Praxair modified out there?
I won a couple of features.
More than that. You won more than just a couple. You don't know how many?
I don't know.
Several.
Hey, I've had a lot of hard wrecks, Kirk.
Yeah. You had there was one in a truck. You were racing a truck down at Memphis Motorsports Park. That was a tough one too, wasn't it? Ron Hartford?
Ron Hartford.
Yeah.
He crashed me.
He did?
He did.
That was your last race, wasn't it?
It was.
Couple of other notes last night. There was some other late model action last night. Tyler Bruning won at Thursday night at Cresco, Iowa, and last night Dylan Thornton was the winner of the Malvern Bank Late Model Series event at Deer Creek Speedway last night. And what else was going on? We had, I think we've got the Race Saber Nationals are going on at Eagle Raceway this weekend. That opened up on Thursday night with some heat races for the Race of Champions, continued last night, and will go through Sunday at Eagle Raceway. That's always a big event, 305 sprint cars. Got 2 nights of racing this weekend at Central Missouri Speedway. Might be your last chance to see races down at CMS. Let's hope not. Let's hope that the walls can get the track sold and somebody can keep that speedway going, but you might want to check out the events down at Central Missouri Speedway.
Are you confident that they're going to keep it going, Kurt?
I hope so. Hope they get it sold. Somebody can keep Central Missouri Speedway going. That's the plan, so hopefully they can keep that going. We had, of course, we're talking about the NASCAR. We had some news come out this past week. The court battle is still going on between 2311 and Front Row Motorsports. You remember they sued NASCAR over the charters.
Right.
And right now they're not running under the charters. And there was a couple of news stories that came out here a couple of days ago about some of the text messages that were going back and forth between NASCAR and the players at 2311 and Front Row, and they got a little nasty. So I don't know how this is all going to go, Scott. I'm thinking, I've always said, I believe they're going to settle before they go to trial in December. That would be the smart way to go, because even the judge told both sides that neither side will prevail totally. I mean, they told the judge told them that. They said, if you better settle, because there's no one side that's going to prevail over the other. So I'm still thinking to try to avoid a lot of the dirty laundry being revealed in discovery, because if they go to trial, everything's going to get revealed. And I don't think NASCAR wants that to happen, so I'm still betting on a resolution out of court before it goes to trial. Let's hope that happens.
Kelly checking in from Oregon.
Oregon was, they had a race there earlier last week, Scott, in Oregon, at the Douglas County Dirt Track. The High Limit Series was there on Monday. You remember that event from earlier this week?
Right.
And Brent Marks wins the feature event at Douglas County Racetrack.
All right, we're going to take a break. Track Talk is brought to you by Rod End Supply, featuring the POWRi Midwest Lightning Sprints. When we come back,
Austin McCarl.
Austin McCarl is going to join us next here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Track Talk. Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
In a world where upfit timelines drag on for months or years, one company answers the call from the degenerates that brought you City Rent-A-Truck. This summer, get ready for City Truck Equipment! Service bodies, dump trucks, real loader trucks, crane trucks, roll-off trucks, and more. Built fast, built tough, built right. City Truck Equipment. Building trucks that build America.
The Grass Pad Man has all the seed you need. Now who can make your lawn thick, lush, and green? The Grass Pad Man can. He has grass seeds for everybody's plans. Dogs and kids in your yard playing hard. After the fun and the sun, you gotta reseed your lawn. So come on down to the Grass Pad. The Grass Pad's high on grass.
Give your summer a
30 seconds, gentlemen.
Make a splash with a brand new Sea-Doo personal watercraft built for speed, style, and serious fun on the water. But hurry, these hot summer rides are going fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. Stop by Reno's Power Sports at 13611 Holmes Road, Kansas City, Missouri, or call 816-942-8900. 816-942-8900. Shop online anytime at renoskc.com. Reno's Power Sports. Let's ride.
Track Talk is brought to you by Rod End Supply, featuring the POWRi Midwest Lightning Sprints.
Austin McCarl captured his third straight Knoxville Raceway 410 championship last Saturday night by winning his one and only 410 feature of the year at Knoxville. And it's his fourth overall championship at the Knoxville Raceway. Last night he battled hard with Xavier Doney and had a little bit of a problem, but that was after
he stepped over the lip.
Stepped over the lip. So, but that was after we spoke to him earlier this week on Mostly Motorsports. Here's a little portion of the conversation we had with four-time Knoxville Raceway champion Austin McCarl. Congratulations, Austin. What a night.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pretty nice way to wrap up the Knoxville season, and being able to cap off the championship with a win and not have to go to the banquet with a goose egg in the win column was a good feeling.
Hey, You won it in 2018, and you won 3 in a row. Talk about that, winning 3 in a row.
Yeah, I won the first one with Troy Renfro in the 2KS car in 2018, which was awesome. And, 4 years ago, got the call to come out and drive the Country Brothers 88 and let me bring it back to the Midwest and race around home. And, the first year didn't go quite to plan, but I had a couple of DNFs. But, the last 3 years have been great. The Ophel family gives me everything I need to go out there and compete and race for championships and race for wins and outlaw wins and be up front. And, it's been a fun 3 years, or rewarding 3 years. And, looking forward to whatever the future holds.
And with the competition level at Knoxville on a weekly basis, it's hard to win a weekly show at Knoxville, isn't it?
Especially with Brian Brown and Ryan Timms there most weeks. Sometimes I feel like I qualify and do things maybe a little too good, and just inverts don't go my way most times. And actually on Saturday, the invert was 0 and we started on the pole. So I guess that's not totally true, but it's really tough. I mean, you always got random invaders coming in and getting ready for the Nationals. And, throughout the middle of the summer, it's always kind of funny. About the middle of June, business really starts picking up when guys start realizing that the Nationals is only 6 weeks away. And Knoxville's just a great place to race, too. I mean, it's a beautiful racetrack every night. I think this year the racetracks were pretty upper level. I mean, a couple of years ago, you could have maybe badmouthed the Duncans a couple nights here and there, but I think this year they nailed it about every weekend, I would say. And Mother Nature cooperated all year. I think we only had a couple, 2 or 3 rainouts, one of them being an outlaw show in the spring, which is kind of normal. And Knoxville's a great place to race. It pays really well. It's 35 minutes from my house, and we're super fortunate to be that close to such a great facility and payoff really weekly. And so it's been great.
You led all the way at Knoxville this weekend. Talk about that a little bit.
Kind of like I said, caught the invert for once to work out in our favor, went quick time, and was able to get to third in our heat, which made us high point guy. And, seeing the 0 starting on the pole, and you just want to go out there and just do your best for 25 laps and hopefully not see anybody and get through traffic as best you can. And, things just worked out. The racetrack was pretty good. I thought pretty fast. I was able to move around in traffic and run 2 lanes. And, it felt good to, 25 lapper. I guess I really didn't even really realize it was 5 more laps than a normal show. I've been lobbying all year for longer races. And, I don't know. It felt good to go out there and finally get the job done for my guys and Scotty and Dominic Rafici, who's from Australia. And felt good to reward them with a win at 410 win at Knoxville. And it was just all in all, a great night. Drew the 3 to qualify, went out first. So I guess when it was just your night, it was your night. The cards fell our way, and we had the card, and I did a good enough job to put everything together.
Talk about your young kid.
Yeah, he was pretty thrilled about it, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he's a cute little shit, man. He's funny, but he's always on the move, man. 2.5 years old, and he's wide open all the time. So, but no, he's awesome. It's always a cool feeling when he gets to come down there in victory lane. And the last few times he's been down there, it's been Rico or somebody else, and he's learning all these other guys' names. I was like, Daddy Austin finally got a win. So no, that's always super rewarding when you come down there and see that, or he gets down there and you see that big smile on my wife and all the family and friends that were there on Saturday and stuff. It was, like I said, it was just a really, really good night. And you got to cherish those nights when they go your way, because it's racing and it doesn't always happen that way. So a great memory for our family and a great way to cap off the 2025 Knoxville season. But still a lot of racing left this year, and we'll keep chugging along and doing our best.
What's his name? Is he going to carry on the McCarl legacy next generation?
Bull, and I don't know. I go back and forth on that. My dad always joked when I was a kid that he wanted us to be doctors or lawyers, and now I see why. But I don't know. It'll be up to him. If he wants to race, he can race. Obviously, he's got the family and some knowledge around him, and some things to probably help him get along a little quicker than most people. But that'll be up to him. I mean, he's only 2.5, and he's just swinging a little baseball right now. But he definitely loves the races. We watch nothing but monster trucks and cars and race cars, and he knows everybody's name. Donnie Schatz and Brad Sweet and Rico and Carson Macedo is funny when he says that one. And so I don't know. He's probably as poisoned as I was as a kid. I mean,
Hey,
actually.
my grandson is 2 years old, and he loves monster trucks.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, when you expose them, Scott, to, you guys are racers.
Right.
Who knows what's going to happen. But I like what you say there, Austin. You're not going to pressure him into anything. That'll be up to him, for sure. That's the way it should be. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously around it a ton, and, I mean, you say we're going to the races, and he loves going to the racetrack, loves going to the races. He was at Grandma's a couple weeks ago while I can't remember exactly where, Houston or somewhere, but she told him, hey, let's go inside and go to the races. He thought, but it was watch the races on TV, and he was not happy when he found out he wasn't going to the races. So,
right,
yeah, he's loving it right now. So it'll be exciting to see what the future holds for him.
You got a top 10 finish at the Nationals, 9th place. I think it's always good if you finish in the top 10 at the Knoxville Nationals. What was your evaluation coming out of the Nationals?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it went pretty well, to be honest. I mean, when I rolled in there on Wednesday and drew a 64, if you would have told me I was going to end up 9th on Saturday, I'd have been pretty stoked with that. So, yeah, I mean, the whole 10 days were pretty good for us. I felt like our 360 Nationals was pretty solid, winning our prelim night, and I just felt like we didn't really have quite the speed on Saturday. I mean, I thought we had a really great car on Saturday. The 360 Nationals was just kind of 360 racing, and the track was fast, and just probably needed it to slow down a little bit more to make it a little bit more racy for us, or whatever, more traffic maybe, who knows. But just 360 racing, I feel like track position is pretty key. So, and then we had a really solid Cappy. I probably tried to pass the guy too soon on a restart, and ended up costing me a couple spots just the way the track was. And Oskaloosa, we weren't as good as I wanted to be, but the Nationals for us, I thought was really good. I mean, we going on Wednesday and going out, drew 64, about 8 from the end or 6 from the end or whatever, and going 10th quick, I thought was perfect. Puts you in the 5th heat race. The racetrack's usually a little bit wider, and starting in that 4th row, it can get pretty tough to get to 4th, obviously, as people can see and debate on Twitter all the time. So, but yeah, once we were able to get through our heat race, which is huge. I mean, Carson was 6th quick and had to start 5th in the B main on our qualifying night, and I was 10th. You know what I mean? So it's so tough. I mean, especially with the heat races now, and everybody's so fast, and you got to have a couple things go your way. And we kind of did, and got through the heat race, and we weren't very good on our prelim night in the feature. We kind of a new car for us. We'd only ran it one more time before that, and it was just a little bit different than what we were probably used to. A little bit tight and rolled up compared to how we wanted to be, but all in all, it all worked out. Ended up with a 10th, and was able to start 12th in the feature, and it was a long 50 laps. It always is. I felt like the racetrack was really, really fast. I mean, I felt like, I don't know, sometimes I debate the 50 laps things just because I wish they could get the racetrack to slow down, and everybody nowadays gets so worried about rubber. I think we kind of, I don't know, I wish the racetrack would have been a little bit slower and more normal. It was pretty wide open for 50 laps, but all in all, it worked out great. I mean, got through it unscathed and made good laps and raced with some guys pretty hard, and felt like we made a couple teeny tiny little adjustments under the red that I felt like helped us. And yeah, I mean, all in all, it was good. It's like I said, it just got tough to pass, and I felt like I wish I could have a couple restarts back. A couple guys, maybe choose a different line than what I thought, and you get kind of tight behind them, and lost a couple spots on restarts, and was able to fight and get those back. And I mean, obviously, hindsight's 20/20, but yeah, I mean, I think we were probably a 6th or 7th place car really, and ended up 9th. And like I said, wish a couple things would have went our way on restarts compared to how they did or whatever. But that's racing, and that's why it's exciting. And yeah, all in all, like I said, I think it was a great Nationals. Like, second in the Mr. Sprint Week points, obviously behind Ryan, who had a dominant weekend and our dominant 10 days, and good for them. That was awesome to see. And yeah, so we'll take what we learned this year and move on. I'm already nervous about next year's heat race.
There he is, Austin McCarl, the 410 sprint car champion at Knoxville Raceway. And what made that race most impressive for Xavier Doney last night is Austin gave Xavier a pretty good run for his money there. He fell back. Both those guys started on the front row last night, but Austin fell back to, I think, as low as 5th at one time, and then he reemerged and battled back on a restart and was throwing some pretty hefty sliders on Xavier last night. Right. But Xavier fended them all off, and I don't know what happened. He got up into the Chris, there's a little bit of a berm on the back straightaway there at 34 Raceway. Got the car sideways and off the track he went. But that, I think, speaks more of just how advanced Xavier Doney has become driving a race car to be able to fend off Austin McCarl, who has a history running pretty good at 34 Raceway. So anyway, congratulations to Austin McCarl for winning another championship. And he did it in pretty impressive fashion last Saturday night, that 25-lapper at Knoxville. So,
and we'll have part 2 of that interview in hour number 2. So if you want to stick around. And that interview was from Mostly Motorsports.
We're going to have Xavier Doney on as well.
That's right.
That's coming up here in just a little bit. That's he was the winner last night at 34 Raceway, and he's on a little bit of a roll now, 2 in a row in the POWRi 410 sprint cars after winning at State Fair Speedway.
What do you think about Xavier Doney as a driver, Kirk?
I think he's pretty talented.
He's pretty talented.
Yeah. Got his sister out there running out there, too. In a
he lapped her last night.
Yeah, she's learning. This is for her first full year in a 410 sprint car, so we'll see how Natalie progresses. But the two of them came in together, and they're still racing together. So, and Dan Lawson, the owner, was not there last night. He was off on some kind of a business trip last evening. But Xavier Doney getting it done last night at 34 Raceway. We'll hear from him coming up in the next segment.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning into Track Talk. It's all brought to you by Rod End Supply, featuring the POWRi Midwest Lightning Sprints. When we come back, Xavier Doney coming up.
Track Talk. Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products since
90 seconds on this break, guys.
Priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply is an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Professional NASCAR driver Ross Chastain doesn't believe it's okay to drive impaired anywhere.
Driving on the racetrack is inherently dangerous, and that's understood. I would never imagine driving impaired on the racetrack. And the same goes for off. I would never go on the highway with all the other challenges and all the other drivers out there and drive impaired.
Why?
Gosh, it's such an easy answer because I want to make it home at night. I don't want to affect other lives or my own is my why.
Drive sober. A message from the Kansas Department of Transportation and your local law enforcement community.
Do you follow Sports Radio 810 on social media? This is your reminder to give us a follow and hit that subscribe button on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at Sports Radio 810. Follow along for breaking news as it happens, live coverage of press conferences, analysis and reporting from top local and national experts, fan videos, and on-the-ground coverage of your favorite local teams, as well as the best sporting events and athletes in the country. Turn on your notifications so that you never miss a beat, and follow the leader at Sports Radio 810.
Kirk, Kyle Larson is leading the points in the Cup Series.
He's got the most playoff points, so he's seated number 1 as the playoffs start this weekend down at Darlington, and he does pretty well at Darlington Raceway. He won this race 2 years ago. Last year, Chase Briscoe was the winner driving for Stuart Haas, their last year of racing, so we'll see how Chase does in the Joe Gibbs Toyota this weekend. And I would say Denny Hamlin would be a heavy favorite this weekend too, so he's got 4 wins this year on the Cup Series, so should be. Yeah, what I don't understand, Scott, is this race is at night, tomorrow night. Starts in the daylight, but it ends up under the lights. Why are they practicing at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock local time?
I thought the same thing.
The day before. How does that help you get prepared for a night race the following day? I'm just asking.
Right.
Yeah, I have no idea. That does seem kind of strange. That, I mean, maybe they'll give him another practice? I don't know.
Well, they're going to qualify here in a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
but you're right. What's that going to? That gives you no setup for tonight.
Well, I guess right. Basically these cars are prepared before they even show up at the racetrack. With the engineering that goes into these race cars, I think basically these practice sessions are just a shakedown session, just to make sure nothing falls off on the car. Everything is tightened up on them. I don't know what you don't learn anything in the practice, nor do you have time to change anything.
Right.
When you go out and practice anywhere. So I think it's more of a shakedown session than anything else. But it's kind of strange seeing them out there practicing qualifying at 9 o'clock local time.
Waking everybody up in the neighborhood out there early this morning, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, Darlington, it's like the racetrack in Knoxville.
Yeah.
The racetrack in Darlington is the big deal, so I don't think people are going to complain about it.
Right. They know what's up this
Darlington
weekend.
Raceway. Well, Xavier Doney is a winner again. He captured the feature victory leading every lap at 34 Raceway last night. We spoke with the young driver from Odessa, Missouri, earlier this week on Mostly Motorsports, and here is part one of the conversation with Xavier Doney. On a little bit of a roll. You come out of the Knoxville Nationals, that's a great experience for you, and you got 3 straight top 5 finishes now, including the most recent race, a win at the Missouri State Fair. That is a huge win in front of such a big crowd. How do you feel about that big win here, your most recent effort?
Well, I just think it's really awesome. Our first one of the year, coming on a half-mile track and making it at the state fair, really close to home. There were some people from high school that were there, and it's kind of cool that it lined up on my dad's birthday weekend and my car owner's birthday weekend, and also my girlfriend and I's dating anniversary weekend. So that's really cool, just to add to the state fair fact.
You've got 3 straight top 5 finishes. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we've really been working on our program. It's really awesome where we're headed. We've got some great help behind us, and my dad, he's my crew chief, and he's taking in lots of information along with me, and we're really starting to put some good efforts together, and I think that weekend as a whole was really good.
Well, the win at Sedalia, you took the lead from Clinton Boyles there. It looked like Clinton was just going to run away and hide right there, but he let off the throttle just a little bit, getting through some lap traffic. Talk about how you got the lead there from Clinton there with about 4 or 5 laps to go.
Yeah, I think if it didn't stay green so long and we didn't catch traffic, I think he had it in the bag. But with it staying green that long and having to maneuver through traffic, kind of have to search around the track a little more, I caught up to him and made some better moves to get around him through traffic.
You were able to find the bottom of the racetrack as Clinton slipped a little bit high. Did that racetrack, they'd only race on it once a year. Just what kind of condition was that racetrack in? They don't race on it much, just that one time.
Well, it was rough in a few spots, and it was pretty dry for most of the night through the first part of both ends of the track, and I think there were some wood chips on the front stretch that made it really dusty, and
right.
I think there were some places you could get some grip, but it ended up rubbering up around the bottom a little bit there.
What was the places where it was rough a little bit?
I think notably it was down going into the bottom of turn 1, and I think a couple spots down the straightaways.
And that's about where you got the lead, wasn't it? That where you took the lead down in 1 and 2?
Yeah, it was. There was kind of a crest going down into 1, so I got below it a little bit where it was extra banked, and I kind of hooked it in there and was able to hold it down around the barriers and caught the rubber coming out, which I didn't even know it was there, so it was kind of a lucky deal having that rubber there just to get a launch down the straightaway.
Then you had to maneuver through lap traffic to get to the finish. That was not easy to get around some of those lap cars.
Yeah, some of the guys, they were running the top for a couple laps before I got to them, and then unluckily they changed lines a little bit once I got to them just to kind of search around and pass the guy in front of them. But I think probably made a couple mistakes in traffic, but I maneuvered it well enough to stay out front.
Well, let's talk about the night before at Lucas Oil Speedway. You had started on the pole. You jumped out to a lead in that race, but wasn't able to finish that off. Scotty Milan comes through with the victory on that race. Just to kind of walk us through just a little bit about how that transpired at the end. You ended up third in the race.
Yeah, started on the pole and led quite a few laps around the top, but it went away. I was trying to keep an eye on the big screen while I was driving down the back stretch, but Scotty found the bottom, and he was making it work really good. And camera wasn't on me once he was coming up to pass me, so I had no clue until he was gone. And I just had to fight. I was going for the win, so I was sitting in second that last restart, and I had to try something, and then ended up third because of it.
Hey, you work on these race cars a lot. You're become a very good welder, I'm told, and you're become a little bit of a fabricator too. You're hands-on with these race cars, aren't you?
Yeah, it's really cool working for Snail House and Chassis. I'm working alongside Brian, and my dad's in the office taking phone calls, and he's welding up Nerf bars and studs and all that, and I'm mainly finishing cars, so I put all the tabs on and weld out the bottoms, but I've built a few cars, and I think the welding part's fun, the fabricating part's fun, and I think we're really getting in a groove and putting out some great cars.
Xavier Doney has been very impressive at such a young age. I'm not sure he's even 20 years old yet. He's still a pretty young guy, and he's winning races out there. Remember last year at the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial, he won in a non-wing car at the Hockett McMillan Memorial, which was pretty impressive to win that race. And he's won both
Kirk,
in non-wing.
are we going to go down there this year?
Yeah, he's going to do double duty at the Hockett McMillan Memorial again.
Should I take the RV down there a little early?
Yeah, why not? You'll be down there the whole weekend.
Right.
That's coming up the weekend of September 20th. It's a 3-day show. The POWRi 410 wing sprint cars and the War MWRA non-wing sprint cars will be the featured attraction down there. That's coming up. And before that, next Saturday night at Lucas Oil Speedway, the USAC non-wing sprint cars will be in action. How about that?
Should I take that RV down there a little bit early?
Yeah, you get it parked down there for those two events. Sure,
right?
Why not? It's here. It's right here at the house. We got it back from Knoxville.
It's hooked up to the truck.
Yeah, we got it back. You got it back from Knoxville. So
right.
We're ready for the next event. As I point out, the Eagle Nationals are going on this weekend as well. And last night they had the first of the main events, and Carson Bolden out of Quinlan, Texas, captured the feature event last night with Kevin Ramey, Adam Gillian, Stuart Snyder, and Bill Johnson rounding out the top 5. They'll have another show today. And then again tomorrow. This is a big deal. The 305 Race Saber Nationals at Eagle. They usually get a lot of race cars up there, so we'll keep tabs on that as we go through the weekend. Of course, Houston Speedway with the World of Outlaws, Skagit Nationals with the high limit racing going on this weekend. We got the Hillbilly 100 for the Lucas Oil late models at Lernerville Speedway, and with the Lucas Oil Speedway hosting the Ron Jenkins Memorial Race for the Comp Cam Super Late Models this weekend. Lake Ozark Speedway with the POWRi Wing 410 and the non-wing War and MWRA sprint cars.
Right.
And the Central Missouri Speedway has big 2 nights racing this weekend, so a lot of action out there. And oh, by the way, probably the biggest event of all is the biggest drag race in the world, the U.S. Nationals, going on at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. The eliminations will be on Monday. And I look forward to that event every year, Scott. There's no other racing on Monday. Everything just wraps up on Sunday, but they always have the final eliminations for the NHRA on Monday. I enjoy watching that. Coverage on Fox and FS1 coming up over the weekend.
It's sad to see that Forrest Lucas died.
Yes, sir. We're still mourning the loss of the great Forrest Lucas, who has, he did so much for
motorsports,
racing, especially dirt track racing. He developed the Lucas Oil Speedway. Of course, that was close to his ranch down there. Rebuilt Lucas Oil Speedway, developed the Lucas Oil Late Model Series that's still in play today, and sponsored a lot of people, including us, for many years, and a lot of entities in the world of motorsports. At Lucas Oil Speedway this weekend, the drag boats are in action this weekend too, so I want to tell everybody about that. But that was all the vision of Forrest Lucas.
The drag boats are down at Lucas Oil Speedway?
Yeah, so they'll be in action, I think, through Sunday. So that, along with the late models on the
maybe I'll go down there and watch that.
Be a good place to go. Or Lake Ozark Speedway, they got racing going on too this weekend. There's a lot of different options that you can take to go racing this weekend. So I'm not sure where I'm going. I think I might go to Bethany, to the Northwest Missouri State Fair this weekend. That's close to the farm up there. They got the only time that we'll see races at Bethany Speedway this year, because they didn't have any weekly racing this year, but it's the fair weekend, and so they'll be racing on Sunday and Monday. Sunday and Monday night this weekend up at Bethany. So they usually draw a big crowd up there for that too. So I'll probably be checking that out this weekend. That's probably where I'll be. So, but there's a lot of options out there for you.
So you're going to go to Bethany?
Yeah. And I'll of course, watch the Southern 500.
When is that, Kirk?
Sunday and Monday night. They'll be racing
Sunday and Monday night?
Yep. We'll check that out. It's a good racetrack, Bethany Speedway. But I'm going to be watching the Southern 500 live. That's probably one of my favorite races to watch as far as NASCAR. It's a long race.
We got it on the TV and right behind us.
The practice and qualifying is going on right now.
Right.
But I think the reason I like the Southern 500, it seems like a dirt race almost, the way they slip and slide around and race the racetrack, and it's a long race, but it's kind of cool to watch, and just to see how you can manage your tires, because what are they going to allow these guys, like 13 sets of tires through 500 miles? I mean, if you go out on a new set of tires and there's a wreck in 4 or 5 laps, guess what? They're all coming in for fresh new tires, because that track just eats tires. But it's kind of fun to watch these guys slipping and sliding around, and they get into the wall, and don't you think it kind of reminds me of a dirt race? A little bit.
It does.
So we'll see if anybody can master Denny Hamlin, who seems to be the best at this racetrack. Larson's pretty good there, and we saw what Chase Briscoe did last year.
Right.
So, and Eric Jones, one of your favorite guys, he's a 2-time Southern 500 winner. So we'll see if maybe he can get the Legacy Motor Club 43 up near the front, which he's done in the past. So it's going to be interesting to watch.
I want to give a shout-out to Chris Yance, my neighbor up the street.
He's a racer, too?
Right.
Yeah.
He's a hardcore racer.
Hardcore racer.
Yep. He's got a bunch of stickers on the back of his truck.
There you go. You like college football?
Do you like college football?
I love it. College Game Day is coming up here in just a little bit here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. There's a big game, Ohio State and Texas. at 11 o'clock this morning. I'm kind of anxious to watch that. I watched my own team win last week against K-State. K-State fans are listening in. Hey, it was a close game.
Cincinnati?
It was in Dublin, Ireland. K-State and Iowa State, and the Cyclones win by 3. Couldn't read the yard lines on the field, but other than that, and it was raining the whole
yard
day,
lines were terrible, Kirk.
Yeah. And, I really feel bad that Dylan Edwards, the big running back for K-State, got hurt early in the game. That's too bad. Hate that. But both K-State and Iowa State are back in action. Kansas opened up last weekend and their newly refurbished stadium, and they played again last night, didn't they? Kansas won again last night, so they look pretty good. Missouri got off to a great start, so congratulations to all of those schools. Chiefs are off this weekend, but they open up next weekend, right? Is that on a Friday night?
Friday night, up against ASCS National Tour.
It's in Brazil.
Brazil.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Chargers,
AFC West.
I saw Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey and
they were all there, wasn't they?
Taylor at that Nebraska-Cincinnati game the other night.
Hey, what do you think about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce getting engaged, Todd?
Well, I figured that was going to happen, didn't we? I mean,
It was headed that direction.
Did you see that diamond ring on her finger?
They can afford it.
They can afford it, right?
Yeah. That was a big one, wasn't it?
It was. It was a giant ring.
But they had, Patrick Mahomes.
A giant diamond.
Everybody was up there in that suite enjoying that football game up there the other night. Nebraska beat Cincinnati. They had a packed house there too, didn't they? Yeah, those Nebraska folks, they travel.
I don't know if you saw Joe's Kansas City here over here in Mission, but there was about 100 fans stacked out the door. All had Nebraska clothes on. So, and I saw Arthur Bryant's posted a photo as well. So, they were all in town, Jordan. Some Kansas City barbecue, and
they all wearing their red.
All had the red on, so they were up styling and profiling this week.
It was a Cincinnati home game.
Did you ever see?
But it was really a home game for Nebraska.
Did you ever see Storage Wars where they have the Oklahoma Joe's barbecue?
No, I haven't.
I have not seen.
I have not seen that. I know that's a popular TV show, but I haven't watched that much. I do know that they have Joe's Kansas City out there at the Royals game. The Royals are playing again today, so if you want to get your little Joe's KC.
They had a big crowd at the Royals game last night.
Out there in right field.
The Royals lost, though, to the Tigers.
Yeah, that was Lugo couldn't hold it together, so another big game out there. We've still got heck, man, we're in second place still, and anytime you can still see.
I'm happy there's still a factor.
That's right. We're literally football season starts in less than a week, and we're still relevant in baseball. So
not many years have the Royals been a factor. They made the playoffs last year. They may not make it this time, but at least they're a factor.
We're still.
How many games are they back?
What, 2.5?
2.5.
They'll be all right. Of the wild card.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Track Talk. It's all brought to you by Rod End Supply, featuring the POWRi Midwest Lightning Sprints. We'll be back with more in a moment. Stay tuned.
And stay tuned for College Game Day coming up next with Danny Clinkscale and Stan Weber.
Check me with electric shock.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Hey, Sorrent Petro here. Is your website really bringing in business? At Digital Lagoon, they design modern, high-conversion websites and execute successful digital marketing.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
So here at Specialty Sportswear in-house, we do all of the screen printing, all the embroidery. We do some vinyl. The other add specialty items like your pens, magnets, notepads, calendars. You can actually buy that, build your business to make it larger. We have the largest screen printing process and the largest embroidery anywhere around in the area. We can do stuff all the way from your school clubs to sports teams, a professional look in the office. If you can imagine it, we can do it for you.
From the circle track to the drag strip to off-road racing, Rod End Supply has been keeping their customers at the front of the field since 1989. Whether you need rod ends, tubular rods, or specialty products, Bob Douglas and his Rod End Supply staff are always ready to help you with your needs. You can visit them on the web at rodendsupply.com or call them at 800-284-2902. That's 800-284-2902. Rod End Supply, keeping you at the front of the field.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sabres 33 RLP. Let's go take a tour. Coming into this animal, we're going to take a trip back here to the feature of this trailer, the deck. Check it out. It's awesome. It's 4 by 10 feet. You can dance on this thing. Boom! Check it out. It's pretty nice. And then coming to the back of this thing, you got a 75-inch TV. It's huge. 60-inch fireplace. Nice and big, keep you warm. Then you got an ottoman that converts into a table, if you will, maybe some TV trays. Then this hide-a-bed that I'm pointing at, it comes out and folds into like a king-size bed with storage in the corner for all your linens. Great little addition to the trailer. Your dinette, of course. Then you're gonna come around to the kitchen with the tic-toc sink. It's got the spritzer and the waterfall and all that stuff. Residential style refrigerator. It's got the microwave and the oven that's residential as well. Big old pantry over here with motion detected lights, coffee bar, and then coming up to the bedroom, you'll have the bathroom first, nice and spacious with a seat in it for them ladies. And then we got the king size bedroom with washer dryer hookup. I'm telling you, this is a home run for a couples coach. Come and see me, Kyle Walker.
When Steve died, the outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
So we have a lot of folks come in interested in traveling for work. This is going to be a great option. Your Coachman Northern Spirit 2565 front kitchen. You have a nice wraparound full front kitchen here. Huge windows up top. Big 12-volt refrigerator. Lots of windows on the sides here. Great natural light coming in. You have your big TV over here on the swing arm bracket so you can kind of see it from any point in the room. Also have your bar stools here. Sit and eat your breakfast. In the bedroom, you're going to have a king-size bed in the slide-out. Lots of storage underneath that. Washer, dryer, hookup. Tons of storage with the drawers. Then you got your full bath across the back. When it comes down to a camper that you can get for 6,500 pounds and be under 30 feet long, this is an absolute home run.
Race fans, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is open 7 days a week, year-round, for you to come in and check out all of the wonderful race cars on display in the museum. And our online store at sprintcarstuff.com is open 24 hours a day for you to check out everything that we have in stock for sprint car fans. Whether it's for a birthday, anniversary, or Christmas, sprintcarstuff.com has it all. That's at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.
Hey everybody, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and you are listening to RacingBoys.com, and if you're not, I swear to you, get in your truck or do something, but get the hell out of this country, because you don't belong in it if you don't listen to these fellas.
It's time for America's most unique motorsports show, Track Talk, brought to you by Rod End Supply and the Power Ride Midwest Lightning Sprints. Here are the racing boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott.
Welcome back to Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB and RBN, the Racing Boys Broadcasting Network.
Biggest race of the weekend as far as dirt racing has to be the Skagit Nationals. Pays $126,000 to win tonight. And Rico Abreu is the top point getter after the first two nights because he won the first two feature races, and he's the defending winner of this event.
$126,000 to win.
He's already bagged $10,000 for the win on Thursday night and $20,000 last night, so $30,000 he's already got in his pocket. If he wins tonight,
you think he's the odds-on favorite, Kirk?
I would say so, yeah. And he's in the dash tonight. The top four in points are locked in from last night. And I was trying to see who the other the other three drivers that are locked in are Dazen Persley, Justin Peck, and Tanner Thorson. Behind Rico is the top four. Those four guys do not have to run any preliminary races tonight.
You think Robbie Price has a chance to win?
Yeah, I mean, he ran good last night.
Right.
He led a good portion of that race, and before he got passed by Rico. Rico came from 7th to the win. Robbie Price started 3rd, and he led early in that race. He ends up in 2nd. Sure, he's of course they have 4 qualifiers tonight. So if you win one of those 4 qualifiers, you'll join Abreu, Persley, Peck, and Thorson in the dash. And then that determines the first 4 rows of tonight's feature event.
Kirk, I wanted to bring up the 25 laps at Knoxville.
For the season championship last week?
Right.
Austin McCarl pretty much dominated it last Saturday night, didn't he?
How many laps do you think they should run?
Well, they normally run 20 on a weekly show at Knoxville. 18 for the 360 cars, but they added to it for the season championship night last week. So they normally don't run 25 laps for a weekly show at Knoxville, but they did last Saturday night. And so Austin McCarl was pretty much dominant through the whole race last week. And just looking down through the final results, last Saturday night's race, you had Tasker Phillips ending up in second. Riley Goodnow was third, Brandon Wimmer fourth, and Kelby Watt ended up in the fifth spot last night. So that's how things transpired at Knoxville last week. But, you know, I was Brandon Wimmer, and, you know, he threw a big slider on Landon Crawley last week, and Crawley had nowhere to go. I don't think you can blame that on Landon, can you?
Nope.
I mean, Brandon just pulled up, you know, just got up front. I just don't think Crawley had anywhere to go. Got up on the rear of his car, and out he went. So, but anyway, McCarl won fairly easily last week. And also congratulations to Tasker Phillips. He is the 360 champion at the Knoxville Raceway after Cade Higday won his first 360 race last Saturday night, outrunning J.J. Hickle. Jay Kinder wins the Pro Series Sprint Car Championship last week. Luke Lane was the feature winner, so congratulations to all of those guys. They'll be celebrating the championships at their awards banquet coming up in November up at Prairie Meadows.
Kirk, there was a good race between Jason Martin and Blake Hahn, wasn't there?
Yeah. Martin, I think he had the stronger car. He and Blake started on the front row of the feature at Electric City Speedway in Montana last night. Martin on the outside, Blake was on the pole, and Martin was able to power to the lead early, but it was after a restart following Sam Haferteep's tire shredding that Blake was able to grab the lead, but he couldn't hang on to it. And just kind of goes to show you Martin had the stronger car because he powered to the outside of Blake.
He went around he went around on the outside.
But still a pretty solid finish for Blake Hahn, who ends up in second. And
Garrett Benson was third.
Yeah, Garrett Benson passed
Matt Covington
on the final lap for that third place spot. So pretty good racing. They'll do it again tonight at Electric City Speedway, and then we'll look forward to seeing them out here at Lakeside Speedway next Friday night, Saturday night at 81 Speedway, Sunday night, September 7th at Eagle Raceway for the ASCS Sprint Cars. And how about Ryan Timms? He does it again. Now, he swept the weekend in the ASCS 360 Sprints at the Harvey Osser Miller Memorial out in Montana last week. He returns to a 410 at Houston Speedway last night. This was not a World of Outlaws sanctioned event. This was the Bull Haulers Brawl, they called it, at Houston Speedway last night. And Ryan Timms wins again.
Beats Mark Dodmeyer.
He did. Mark Dodmeyer finished in second. And Timms wins the championship. Caleb Johnson would have had to finish third for him to retain the title, but he did not finish third, and Ryan Timms not only wins the feature last night, but wins the sprint car feature at Houston Speedway last night. Second in a row up there, his sixth of the year at Houston Speedway. And now the World of Outlaws comes to town tonight and tomorrow night. Tomorrow night pays $25,000 to win. Buddy Kofoid, you remember, was dominant at the Highbank Nationals and the Houston's Hustle back in June, where he walked out of there with Roth Motorsports $350,000.
Right.
He won $250,000 for winning the Highbank Nationals, another $100,000 for the Houston's Hustle. So there's a reason why Buddy Kofoid is the overall earnings leader in sprint car racing, and it had to do with just those 4 days at Houston's back in June. So can Ryan Timms beat Buddy Kofoid at Huset's this weekend. I look at those two guys as being the guys to beat this weekend.
Hey, Kirk, we need to remind everybody that the Race Saver Nationals are underway up at Eagle Raceway.
They are. They had races last night. Carson Bolden out of Quinlan, Texas, wins the feature after starting 12th. In last night's feature event, he outruns Kevin Ramey, Adam Gillian, Stuart Snyder, and Bill Johnson. Jake Buback ends up in 6th. And they'll do it again tonight at Eagle Raceway and tomorrow night. Got 2 more nights up at the Eagle Nationals for the Race Saver Nationals.
Kirk, we need to remind people that the USRA B-Mods last night at Chad Clancy won.
Lakeside Speedway.
Right. Tim Carrick was leading the race.
Carrick had it won until something happened. I don't know. Did he blow up? Something mechanical happened to Carrick last night.
They said in the broadcast maybe that he lost a cylinder, so he was still under power, but it was just really slow.
Right.
So he slowed up in a hurry.
Yeah, but just 5 laps left, or 4 laps. Looked like on lap 4 is where it all, lap 5 or 4 there, where
fell apart.
So, yeah, Clancy ends up picking up the win, and Racing Boys also helped sponsor the Lisa Burlington's Kid Flag Day out there. I saw they gave away another thing, a little cute little boy down there. He won him got his name. So I think you go to the pit where you sign in at down there.
So we give away T-shirts.
Yeah,
Kirk?
we gave a bunch of T-shirts and hats, and I bought a couple coloring books, and they give those away to the winners of those. They draw those. I think where you buy your tickets, that's where they have the check-in at, and if I'm not mistaken, and then you get signed up and be the flag person of the volunteer or the flagman of the day. So it's a kid flags thing. So helps get the kids out there, which is what we're wanting out there. Get a lot of young kids.
Keep those kids interested in racing.
That's right. So I bought a couple coloring books that were race car model.
You know, I saw a bunch of little kids out there last night at Lakeside Speedway.
That's a good thing.
It's good to see.
Right.
Jake Richards wins at US 36 Raceway last night in the B-Mod class. Chris Wright ends up 2nd. Jimmy Downs was 3rd. Other winners, USRA Stock Cars, Brad Derry and Blake Hayes in the E-Mod division. Eddie Knoll wins in the Pure Stock class at US 36 Raceway last night. So,
Ed Knoll. Little Ed Knoll.
Little Eddie.
This would be the younger one, I believe.
Yeah. So
you know, his dad was a pretty good racer.
Yeah. So chip off the old block.
You can find all those stories right there on our news section under Dirt Modified if you're looking for it.
Here and around Kansas City, Central Missouri Speedway got 2 nights of racing, tonight and tomorrow night. Going to be racing up at I-35 Speedway. Lucas Oil Speedway has got the Ron Chickens Memorial, night 2. Last night, Chris Simpson wins the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series feature event. They'll do it again tonight. They got the drag boats going on down there. Lake Ozark Speedway near Eldon, Missouri. Always a big weekend over Labor Day weekend. They'll have the Power I-410 Outlaw Sprint Cars and the Non-Wing War MWRA Sprint Cars tonight. And the Heartland Modified Tour will be in action at Lake Ozark Speedway this weekend, tonight and tomorrow night. So check that out. And so
should we go down there, Kirk?
Yeah, you can go wherever you want. I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. I think I'm going to Bethany, to the Northwest Missouri State Fair up there, Sunday and Monday.
I think I'll go down to Lake Ozark Speedway.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a show on Monday because of Labor Day, so no
Mostly Motorsports on Monday.
So we'll have an extra day to kind of maybe relax and, like you said,
but we'll be back the following week.
Absolutely, Saturday morning we'll be back here right here the following week, and then the following Monday. So September 1st, Labor Day, will be off. So like you said, don't be look at. But we did an extra podcast this month. We added the Ryan Timms one in there, so we actually put 2 podcasts up in 1 week. So we're still have the same amount of podcasts. So if you want to go back and download any of those podcasts, go to wherever you download all your stuff at. We go to Podbeam is where we do ours through, but you guys, Amazon Music's a big popular one. I know a lot of people get it through there, and it's an easy Google search. If you just type in Racing Boys Podcast or Mostly Motorsports Manual, it'll take you to our homepage. Click that link, take you to all the episodes. We'll be episode 376 next Monday, guys.
Hey, Ken said that Kokomo SmackDown gave everybody their money's worth last night.
Last weekend.
Weekend.
Justin Grant wins his 5th SmackDown, and he gets out of the car and give me my crutches. Still got a broken foot.
Right.
Better to have the left foot than the right foot broken.
Absolutely.
He probably wouldn't be able to compete if the right foot had been broken.
Nah, and like you said, we saw the pins that were in that foot.
They had to redo some things inside that car for the brakes and everything for him to do that.
Oh, I'm sure.
And he raced again. He raced in a midget last night at Bloomington.
We still got a lot of drivers that are still out mending, so it'll be.
He had trouble last night, but he had the lead in that midget race last night till he ran into trouble. But last weekend, very impressive to see Justin Grant with a broken foot win his 5th SmackDown race. And also, hats off to Clinton Boyles, who subbed for the injured Robert Ballou in the 12 car and was the hard charger of the night, ends up in 8th in last week's feature event. So good going there, Clinton.
Kirk, we need to talk about the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum.
Yes, sir. Of course, we had the Corvette giveaway here a couple of weeks ago. And congratulations to Scott King for winning the Corvette. They're going to give away a sprint car, but not this December.
When are they going to give away the sprint car?
December of 2026, but you can register for it now. And we saw the sprint car up at the Nationals up there.
There's a photo of it right there.
They've got the car there, but it's going to be, they do this every 2 years, but they're already taking entries for the sprint car now.
Right.
If you go to winasprintcar.com, you can get registered for that.
It's a good-looking sprint car.
Yeah. And, of course, the Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum is open year-round. They still got the late model Knoxville Nationals coming up in September. It's the same weekend as the Hockett McMillan Memorial, so I'll probably go to Knoxville one night and then come back and go to Wheatland. I'll try to hit both those.
I always root for number 16.
Yeah, got your number already.
That's your numbers.
If you win this thing, you wouldn't even have to change your number on there. Might have to get you a different seat to fit in there.
Hey, if
maybe.
If you haven't seen,
I got a seat out there in the garage.
Have seat will travel.
If you haven't seen the display of the Manzanita Speedway salute at Knoxville, you've got until October the 1st to check that out. A lot of great items from Keith Hall's Manzanita Speedway on display up at the museum, including the same car that Jesse Hockett drove to the final sanction win at Manzanita Speedway back in 2009, I think it was. So a lot of great videos and all kinds of items up there for the Manzanita Speedway salute in case you missed it during the Nationals, or it's still going to be there up until the 1st of October.
Kirk, we still got to do the Austin McCarl and Xavier Doney.
Yeah, we'll do that. Hey, before we hear more of Xavier Doney, they had some races out in Pennsylvania this weekend, and Anthony Macri is on a pretty good roll. Wednesday night at Baps Motor Speedway, where they only had 17 cars that night. Yeah, I was surprised that they only had 17 at Baps on Wednesday night, but Anthony Macri, shall we say, threw a dirty slider on Danny Dietrich for that. That was, Danny didn't say, normally they went to interview Danny Dietrich after that, and I'm expecting him to really let loose, but he just smiled and he didn't say a whole lot about it. He said Anthony had a faster car. which that kind of surprised me that he had that kind of reaction, because Anthony came right across the nose of the 48 car, and he was able to power away from that to win on Wednesday night. Then last night at Williams Grove Speedway, Macri comes from the 6th starting spot and outruns Danny Dietrich again.
Right.
Dietrich finishes 2nd, Chase Dietz 3rd, Troy Wagaman Jr. in 4th, and Parker Price Miller rounds out the top 5 at Williams Grove Speedway. Now, Port Royal Speedway is going to be the focus next weekend. The Tuscarora 50 is next weekend. The high limit guys are going to have to travel all the way across the country from Seattle to Port Royal, Pennsylvania in just a few days to race for big money at the Tuscarora 50 next weekend. Anthony Macri, by the way, is, Rico Abreu is the defending champion of that race. Macri won this event 3 years ago, but Macri, he owns Port Royal Speedway. He's done so well there, but Rico won this event last year. You know who won it 2 years ago? Brian Brown. But Brian's on the shelf right now, nursing a couple of broken
hands,
broken wrist and hand. So we hope to see Brian back in a car. We don't know how soon we'll see Brian Brown back in a car, but he won this race 2 years ago, if you recall. Right. So Xavier Doney gets it done last night at 34 Raceway, the POWRi 410 wing sprint cars. Very impressive the way he held off Austin McCarl after Austin threw him a couple of sliders last night. Doney, even though he led every lap in that race, it was not an easy trip to victory lane last night.
34 Raceway.
Yes, but he got it done. Earlier this week, we spoke with Xavier Doney on our Mostly Motorsports. Here's part 2 of the conference. We heard part 1 in the last hour. Here's part 2 of Xavier Doney. You got your sister out there racing with you. How's she doing?
Oh, she's doing good. She's her first season in a 410, and I think she's getting better every race. And we're really trying to find what she likes on the car, and I'm trying to coach her from what I know to help her go faster.
You finished 4th at Lakeside Speedway. Are these big? And this is coming off your experience up at Knoxville. What did you take away from racing the Knoxville Nationals that's helped you over these last 3 or 4 races? Because you've had good finishes every time you've been out since then.
Well, the Nationals is just such a big, intense event. It's effective where your program's at, and I think we made improvements over the 3 nights up at the Nationals with me driving and with the setup, and I think I got more experience behind a bunch of cars running through dirty air, and I had some experience on slick and heavy tracks, passing cars going up through the field. So I think just seat time there at such a big event is kind of what helped me out.
Knoxville's such a different beast, isn't it?
Yeah, you were up there Saturday night.
What was that?
You were up there Saturday night racing at the championship night up there, too, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. We had an all right night up there, but we're still trying to figure that place out, and I'm trying to figure it out as a driver.
So let's look ahead. Lake Ozark Speedway coming up this weekend. You're going to be up at 34 Raceway, I think, on Friday night. 2 nights at Lake Ozark Speedway. This weekend is a big weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm looking forward to it. We got 3 nights of action. One of the tracks I've been to once at 34 Raceway. We went up there earlier this season, and I'm looking forward to see if I can do better there. And Lake Ozark is a track I'm very familiar with, so I know I'll be good there.
Talk about the influence Dan Lawson has had. That's who you're driving for right now. Just what a big influence he's made.
He's really great. He owns everything. It's really a blast driving for him. I'm really blessed to be in the position I'm in, and I think him owning the chassis shop and the storage place around there is helping keep the team together, and it's really getting me experience, getting my name out there as chassis builder and driver. So I think working for him and driving for him is getting me some more exposure.
Have you ever raced at 34 Raceway?
Yes, I have. I did once earlier this year, and it went all right. We learned a few things, and we'll be better this time.
Yeah, that's a great racetrack for sure. Schneid Lawson chassis, boy, a lot of heavy hitters are running these chassis right now. Didn't Kyle Larson run them? Rico? There's a couple.
Yeah, we've got some awesome drivers in our cars, and they really make them run fast. We've got Tyler Courtney. He was in one until he got hurt. Gio filling in, and he's doing really good in that car too. So all our fast guys running with the National Series kind of putting it to them.
We don't hear a lot about who's in what chassis in sprint car racing. They seem to promote it a little bit better in the late model rounds. Why don't we hear more about who's in what chassis in sprint cars?
Well, from what I've heard, from the announcer standpoint, they don't want to mention the chassis for a particular person, because then all the other chassis companies will be like, "Why'd you mention them and not us?" So I think the announcers are just trying to make it more fair by not talking about the manufacturers at all.
Is that a little fair? Do you say that the announcers should mention them more?
Well, I think it would help a lot. I think some of that responsibility should be the drivers in their interviews too, mentioning what car they're driving, just so people know.
Yeah, it seems like we hear more about what engines are running than what chassis. Late model guys, they talk about it all the time. So I always kind of wondered why that's the case. Why sprint car announcers don't want to talk about it more. Well, Xavier, congratulations on the big win. You're going to school right now, right? Where are you going to college?
Yeah, I'm headed to school right now. Metropolitan Community College here in Kansas City. I'm going down to the Longview campus for my statics and my thermodynamics classes.
Wow, that's impressive. So I don't know if I can even pronounce that. That is very impressive. I'll bet you get good grades.
Yeah, I do my best. I think so far in my career in school, I've only gotten one B, and that was in a statistics class that it was kind of wonky.
Well, we're not going to let you be late for class, so we really appreciate your time spending with us. Look forward to seeing you at 34 Friday night in Lake Ozark this weekend. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thanks for the time.
And after his victory last night, he heads to Lake Ozark Speedway for the weekend and see if he can keep that winning streak going, which is now 2 straight wins in the Power I-410 sprint car. State Fair Speedway and last night at 34. How about that?
Right.
He'll turn 20 October the 12th. And you know another 20-year-old driver made big news this week, Scott? His name is Dallin Murdy.
Ryan Timms turned 19 on Tuesday.
He did. Ryan Timms be a year younger than Xavier Doney. And Ryan Timms, the Knoxville Nationals champion.
We had all those guys on.
Yeah, Ryan Timms, who just turned 19 on Tuesday, has won 5 feature races since winning the Knoxville Nationals. How about that? That's
nothing to sneeze at
that's
right
getting
there.
It done.
Yeah, that's.
But getting back to another 20-year-old, Dallin Murdy from Chelsea, Iowa, wins $100,000 on Wednesday night at the XR Stock Car Rampage at the Sport Park Raceway in Fort Dodge, Iowa the other night. And you know who else was in the field, Scott? we had a couple late model guys. Ryan Gustin finished second, and Ricky Thornton Jr., who won this race last year, was fifth. So Dallin Murdy beat all those guys. And, oh, by the way, Dallin's dad, Damon Murdy, ends up in sixth place after starting eighth. So congratulations to Dallin Murdy, who's now driving a late model right now. He's driving in the Malvern Bank East Series. He finished second at Cresco the other night in his late model. Then last night he finished fifth at Deer Creek Speedway. So he's in his first full year in a late model. But he's, he's won a 200 feature. One year he won 47 features in 2021 in a stock car.
47 features.
In 2021. And how old was he, 16 at that time? That's 4 years ago, so he would have been 16, and 1 year he wins 47 feature victories. And last year at this $100,000 win race, Ricky Thornton Jr. walked out there with the money. Who finished second in that race? Dallin Murdy. He was leading that race, and Thornton passed him late. Remember that? Because Thornton had to come from way back in the field to win that.
All right, Kirk, we got Austin McCarl coming up.
Part 2, Austin McCarl. He is the champion at the Knoxville Raceway. We heard from him in hour number 1. More from Austin McCarl from our visit earlier this week on Mostly Motorsports. Are you surprised they brought the water truck out right before the A-Main at the Nationals?
I get surprised that they bring it out quite a bit, to be honest with you. I want it to get slick and slow and move around and be technical. I think it gets way too fast quite often, to be honest with you. Like I said, I think they get a little paranoid about having 50 laps, and this year we started a little bit earlier, which I thought was a great idea. I don't know. Sometimes, to be truthful, I feel like sometimes it's really the worst for the guys in the B main. From my point of view, last year I had I'm in running third on the Friday night portion of the Nationals and pack a right rear full of mud and whatever, end up in the middle of the C. Well, if I'm being 100% honest, I thought going to bed that night on Friday night that I was like, I can make it through the C, starting in the middle of the C, and hopefully, the B main's 22 laps. That's longer than a weekly feature. Work my way towards the front, maybe make a little money. I didn't necessarily think I could make the A main, but I thought if things went right and I caught a couple of yellows, I could. And then you go out there and hot lap, and it's super duper heavy. I think what a lot of people don't realize about Saturday the Nationals is it's only 5 races and some hot lap sessions. So, there's not, like the E main or the D main is only 10, 12, 15 laps. That's not a lot of laps on the racetrack before the B main has to roll out. I feel bad a lot of those times for those guys because the B main is just so heavy and fast and can be typically one lane just because they're worried about the 50 laps coming up behind it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a tricky deal, and 24, are the best sprint car drivers in the world with engines that all rip. For 50 laps can be hard on a racetrack, but
right.
I almost feel like, and I'm actually very anti this to be honest, but I don't think it would irritate people too much if they even went and if it got to the point where, when Donnie came from the B and it laid rubber, that if they had to go out there during the break and they have the equipment to do it. I know our break's only 3 minutes now, but if you give them 5 minutes, they could scratch, lay the top and the bottom and fix a little things here and there to make it not lay rubber, for example. As long as I don't know. But I just think sometimes it gets too fast, and it's like, to me, the perfect example, and I'm not taking anything away from the past winners of Kyle Larson and Ryan. They were definitely probably the best, cars, but there hasn't been a pass for the lead in 154 laps or so 3 years. To me, that's not good. I get the whole system, and usually the fastest guy does start on the pole and yada, yada, yada. And the 10 car was a rocket ship this year, no doubt about that. And, Kyle the years before obviously was too. So, but I'm just saying, that's kind of crazy to think about that there hasn't been a pass for the lead in 3 years. And to me, that's just kind of victim to being out in clean air, and it gets so hard to pass. And, I wish we could almost do, I wish in a perfect world we could run 40 laps nonstop, because to me, that's perfect. It'll never be able to happen. We'll never be able to, as much power as we're making now and fuel we're sucking down, it literally is a dream. But it's like, for me at least, at the end of the first 25 lap stint, this last year, I'm just starting to catch guys, and we're just starting to get the traffic, and guys are having to move around and yada, 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 and then boom, yellow. Everyone gets to reset, both on a fresh set of tires, talk to their guys about who's running where, blah, blah, blah. I think you need to do this. Okay, the bottom's good over, and then guys get to totally change the whole game up. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I wish in a perfect world we could run 40 laps potentially nonstop and let guys get the traffic. And I think the racing would be unbelievable, but that's just impossible to do. I mean, I ran out of fuel at a 40 lap race at Eagle, Nebraska this year. So
right.
With a 30 gallon tank. So I mean, it's just, whatever. Again, I don't know. I'm a big proponent of slick and slow. And I guess that's probably just when me and my race car are the best. I'm probably just too tight all the time, but, I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to going back to 30 laps. I think the biggest mistake anyone ever made was keeping it 50, in my opinion.
Right.
I mean, it's not really a sprint car race anymore. I don't know. It's a bit of a marathon.
Well, you know why it stayed 50? Because we saw one of the most classic Knoxville Nationals we ever saw, a 50-lapper of that 50th anniversary when Tim Schaefer passed for the lead with on the white flag lap.
Like
People still talk about that race.
Well, exactly. Well, there you go. But we're not talking about him anymore. I mean, I just told you
Right.
nobody passed the car. Nobody's had a pass for the lead in 3 years.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to going back to 30. I think the COVID Nationals. I mean, I was supposed to start 19th. I started 21st and ran 7th. And the racetrack was amazing. I mean, it was up on the fence in 1 and 2, teeny tiny little bottom in 3 and 4. It was awesome. I had the most fun I've ever. That's honest to God, probably the most fun I've ever had racing at Knoxville. And it was 30 lap COVID Nationals, and Kyle won that one. And I mean, nobody bitches about that race being bad because it was 30 laps, do they?
no, that was a great race.
And no fuel stops, no tire. You take out all the arguments, like no fuel stops, no tire changes. There it is, 30 lap sprint car race, bang. I think the Duncans, the racetrack would be better because they know they don't have to do all this stuff. And I think the Duncans, one thing after the B main, I think you should almost let it get slick enough to where they have to go rework it after the B main for
Right.
50 laps. And then we get a top and a bottom, and here we go, go race. I mean, so I don't know. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. The racing's awesome at Knoxville, and, blah, blah, blah. But, as a sprint car enthusiast, I just don't know that. I just wish 50 laps would have been the 50th, and whatever. We did this one time. Yes, it was a great race, perfect. It'll be the one. Remember that time they ran 50 laps and Tim Schaefer's, blah blah blah. But now it's. But then there's an argument too to counter me, even in my own head, that it's the biggest race on planet Earth for sprint car racing. At least it's the Indianapolis 500. It's our Super Bowl. It should be the longest race. It should be hard to win. It should be. That's why I'm one of these guys that's probably leave the format and leave the invert A or whatever. It should be super difficult. You should have to get a tiny bit lucky. The pill draw does matter. It is insanely huge point total wise. I mean, if you can go out early statistically or historically. So I mean, then to counter my own argument, leave it the way it is, and just nobody bitches about it. I mean, for what tickets cost and what these motors cost, and I mean, they're paying $15,000 to start. I mean, that's your freshen up right there. So, run 50 laps. I mean, I guess I'm not against it either. I just don't know, as a pure sprint car fan, that's not really what a sprint car race is. I don't know.
Talk about the support of your wife.
Yeah, no, she's awesome. She takes care of a lot of stuff behind the scenes for me, and does almost all my social media, or what I do on social media. Not the biggest social media guy, but no, she's great. Obviously, helping me, or me helping her, really raise our son, and we're about to have another son here in about 4 weeks. So business is really going to
Congratulations!
But no, yeah. Thank you guys. She's awesome, man. I obviously love her to death, and definitely wouldn't be the man I am today without her.
And your mother, she's a big factor too.
Oh yeah, Mom. Yeah, oh yeah, Mom's obviously love my mom to death. But yeah, the chaos she's went through between my dad, me, and Carson, for sure. It's I couldn't imagine what her Saturdays are like from her perspective, really. So no, I love my mom to death, and she's been definitely a rock in our family for sure.
All right, so your dad, he's not going to race any more 410, right? He's going to just finish out in 360, right?
I don't know. I never count him out.
Right.
I'm not holding my breath on any 410 retirement news, but
yeah,
that's what he says. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever he decides to do, and I love him and support him. So, yeah, he's obviously had an amazing Hall of Fame career, and however he wants to bow out, he can bow out his way, and whatever he wants to do. But, but to answer your question, I don't think I'd be too surprised if there was a 24 entered in the Nationals next year. But,
yeah, it'd be hard to lay that aside for sure. You brought Scotty Martin on board. How much of an impact has he made?
He's been a huge impact, man. He's been awesome. He's been great, just taking a load off of me, just trying to be a full-time mechanic and, a full-time driver and a full-time dad. He's been amazing. He's been a guy I wanted for a while. We worked a little bit together, I guess 4 years-ish ago now for the Trophy Cup and some stuff. And our team was just in kind of a weird place with me kind of coming in and figuring out where things were and how I wanted to do things and blah, blah, blah. And things just didn't quite work out back then, but was able to get him locked up this year and bring him out to the Midwest. And his girlfriend, Becca, lives in Indianapolis with Paul Baines. She's sister-in-law to Paul Baines, famous mechanic out from California. He's working on an IndyCar now. And, he's been awesome. He's been a great asset and a good guy to bounce ideas off of and maybe tell me when I'm off in the Joneses mechanically. And just been huge for the workload, really. And, no, he's been everything I dreamed of and more. So, he's been a great addition for a long time.
Man, you were set on kill out here at Lakeside Speedway. What engine go? What happened there?
Yeah, we broke a valve spring and the big main outer spring, and it kicked a push rod, and I felt it right away. I mean, I think that motor we had in is one of my favorite engines, and Lakeside's just kind of been my kryptonite, man. I feel like I'm always pretty fast there at least, and close to being in the game, if not in the game for a win, and just dumb stuff happens to me. Run out of fuel, broke a spark plug at the beginning of the year, running second to Carey at the High Limit show, and hurt an engine there. And no, we were super fast. I felt super comfortable again there, and I love that place. I think it's awesome. I think it's one of the, I don't know, to me it's almost like if Knoxville and I-80 had a baby, it would be Lakeside. It's wide and fast, and I love that place.
Had you planned on doing all of those races that weekend before you had the engine problem?
Yeah, we were. That was our plan. That definitely threw a little I don't know what the word is, speed bump in our weekend plans for sure. We've been down. We hurt that one at Lakeside, and I had one at home that we've been kind of saving, and we just kind of got in a pinch pretty in a hurry, I guess, and wanted to make sure we had at least one really good one or two possibly really good ones for Knoxville this Saturday, just in case something happened to option A. But from here on out, we should be hopefully pretty good. Got that one sent off, and hopefully it's not hurt too bad. I don't think it is, and we'll be back up and 100% hopefully soon.
All right, Knoxville is done, so what lies ahead? What's the schedule? How's it lay out for you here the rest of the way?
Are you going to 34 Raceway?
I honestly don't know yet. Me and Scotty, and I got to talk to my partner Keith and figure out what we want to do. There's a couple options this weekend, obviously the Power Ice stuff, or Houston's for 3 days with the Outlaws. We might do that, and I'm hoping we get the green light to go to Port Royal in 2 weeks for the Tuscarora and get to go out there. I've technically raced in Pennsylvania once, but hurt a motor or U-joint in the heat race and didn't really get to race there either. So I would love to go out to Port Royal for 3 days here in a couple weeks, and then after that, it'll be kind of racing around home. There's some, again, more Power Ice stuff close to home, and hopefully if my wife isn't looking like she's too close to having a baby, I'd like to go to Eldora with High Limit for the 4 Crown and build a little notebook there with Scotty, and him and I haven't. I mean, I've been there 2 years ago, for the 4 Crown, and would love to get back to Eldora, and then I got a baby coming on the 29th, and then after that, I'll just be kind of hit and miss and see what happens. Might go out to California and hit up the Trophy Cup, and then kind of work our way back and finish the year with the Outlaws at, I know they got the makeup shows at Wichita and Arrowhead, and 2 really nice facilities and racetracks, and then head to Charlotte from there. So we're just going to play it by ear the rest of the year and hit and miss and see what we want to do and check the weather, and you never know.
Those 2 nights at Lakeside kind of fall in a bad spot there. You got the baby due there, don't you? You'd love to come back to Lakeside.
I definitely plan on coming back to Lakeside. Hopefully we're due September 29th, and Lakeside's only 3 hours from my house, so I think I can swing that one pretty easy. But
right.
but yeah, we'll see I forgot about that. I'm glad you brought that up. But yes, that is our plan. If we do that, we'll go to Lakeside and then probably super truck out to California from there if we go run the Trophy Cup.
Have you been to Port Royal Speedway?
I never have. I've been there technically with my dad, probably close to when it opened a long time ago. Now seems like, but no, I've never raced there.
I think this fits in your wheelhouse, Austin. I mean, you talk about a slicked off racetrack from the bottom to the wall. I think that fits in your wheelhouse.
I think so too. Hopefully, the high limit shows the last 3 years there have been amazing. So, and the Hockett's and stuff have been really good racing. And yeah, no, I need to get down there bad. I was honestly really looking forward to that one. And yeah, that one stunk. But things happen. That's racing, and I had to take care of my priorities. That being just finishing up Knoxville as strong as we could, which luckily everything went our way, and that ended about as perfect as it could have. So, yeah, we'll keep racing on the rest of the year and hopefully have some good results.
Well, congratulations on the championship, your 4th championship, 3rd in a row. Not many people have done that, 3 in a row. I was looking back in the record books. Who's won 3 in a row championships?
I would assume Lasowski for sure. I know my dad won 6 in a row.
Right. Oh, that's right. He won 6 in a row, of course. There he is, the champion, Austin McCarl. I love the way he talks. You know, he just kind of lets it fly, doesn't he?
He does.
He's got some good opinions about the Nationals, you know, the format, the length of the race. But then he's arguing against himself. Well, maybe it's that
slick
way, you
and
know?
slow.
Slick and slow. He likes.
Right.
So he'll love Port Royal Speedway. But you know, he was talking about, you know, well, then on the other hand, you got those high ticket prices and $16,000 starter. It should be hard to win. So I was kind of wondering which, you know, if he was starting to argue against himself there. But no, it was some good comments there from Austin McCarl, and always love having him on. Denny Hamlin has won the pole for the Southern 500. How about that?
Are you surprised?
No surprise at all. You remember Hamlin won the spring race out there, and he's won 3 Southern 500s in his career, so he's always good at Darlington. Chase Briscoe, who won this race last year in the Stewart-Haas car, finished 2nd in qualifying. Josh Berry will line up 3rd, Tyler Reddick 4th. Kyle Larson was next to the last car out to qualify. He'll be 5th on the grid. Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, Austin Dillon, and Austin Cindric, your top 10 qualifiers. Ryan Blaney was the last to qualify. He ends up 12th on the grid. And, you know, where you start, I think, is pretty important for this race. Even though it's 367 laps, I really think you need to start up towards the front of this race. Because if you start towards the back of the grid, you're just fighting an uphill battle the whole night, I think.
You think Ty Gibbs has got a chance?
Let's see. Where's he starting in this race?
They got Byron up there pretty high up in the odds.
He's started 3rd.
Yeah, Byron's at plus 480, which means he's the lowest number, you know, so they've got it in the order that they have. Odds of best is Byron, Larson, Hamlin, Blaney, Reddick, and Bell. If I was going to make a pick today, I would probably take William Byron, just because that's my gut feeling, and I'm gonna go out and take that right now.
I don't know how you can bet against Hamlin. I really don't.
And I'll take Denny as my backup. That's what I just didn't.
Larson will be a factor.
Yes, he will.
Ty Gibbs will start 16th in the race.
Who are you going to pick today, Kurt and Scott?
I'm going to go with
Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin, yeah.
It's hard to pick against Denny Hamlin.
Yep. How about you, Scott?
That would be his 5th win of the year if he were able to get this.
I'm going to pick Denny Hamlin as well.
All right, and then your backup driver in case something. We're in the playoffs now.
Well, so Larson be my backup.
Yeah. How about you, Scott?
I would say Kyle Larson as well.
Okay, so
hey, you know, one guy that's ran pretty well at Darlington. Now, I'm going to change my backup. I'm going to say Tyler Reddick.
How about that?
To win his first race of the year I'm going to still pick Hamlin to win, but Tyler Reddick is a guy you need to keep your eye on because he finished second a couple of times in this race. He's been in the top 5 most of the Southern 500s here over the last couple of years.
I'm going to pick Ty Gibbs.
He's got to come from 16th. But Tyler Reddick is my backup pick, so I'm going to go with Hamlin and Reddick as the backup.
I got Byron and Hamlin, so we're good. We got our set and playoffs of starting to this week.
And me picking Hamlin will ensure Kyle Larson will win for the first time since Kansas Speedway.
Kyle will probably win today now. So.
Right.
But that's all right.
That's a race that starts in the daytime and ends up at night.
Hey, remember? That's the thing we were just talking about. I don't know where this practice. I mean, there's not a lot of notes you're going to be getting from.
You don't learn anything from this.
Like you said, you're just shaking things down. Make sure nobody forgot to tighten up.
But I do think where you start in this race does matter.
Oh yeah,
because you gotta get by a lot of cars if you're starting towards the back, and that's hard to do at this place. And the pit, the big key to this race is
tires.
Yeah, you're coming into the pits so often during this race that is prone to a lot of mistakes. And getting in and off pit road is pretty tricky, and avoiding mistakes on pit road are critical.
Right.
Just by putting the word playoff in front of it, and you have these drivers that are in this thing, that puts a lot of pressure on everybody. That includes all the people in the pits and tire carriers, the gas man, all that stuff kind of ramps up. I mean, it's playoffs, and as well as I do, guys, is one mistake in the pits can cost you a lot of time out on the track, man. And a major mistake in the pits can cost you the race because you a tire, a bad jack, something, you lose a tire in the infield. That's a penalty, and we're done. We're in the playoffs. That's the part that I know it doesn't seem like it's that much a difference, but you have a bad race now, Kirk. You're out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't an elimination race, but you put yourself this far back in behind the 8 ball with guys that already have they have playoffs positioning with points. It's like you said.
Well, here are the guys that are most vulnerable. You got Joey Logano and Ross Chastain +1, Austin Cindric, Bubba Wallace +2.
Yeah.
Chase Briscoe +4. Chase Elliott is only +7. And in the best shape, your top 4 are Kyle Larson +26, William Byron +26, Denny Hamlin +23, and Ryan Blaney +20. Those are the 4 guys
are pretty
I think
low.
You'd have to figure.
We want to
go
remind people that we're not going to be on Labor Day.
That's right. No Mostly Motorsports show. So
be watching drag racing that day.
Right.
Probably going to the races at Bethany that night.
But if you're still wanting to download a podcast,
I'm going to go to Lake Ozark Speedway.
Yeah.
There's probably a podcast on there that you probably haven't downloaded yet. So on Monday, just go back and maybe go through our archives and see.
We'll be back here live next weekend.
That's right.
So there's a lot of big races next week. In the World 100 for dirt late models next weekend at Eldora. We've got the ASCS we've talked about out here at Lakeside, 81 and Eagle Raceway. We've got the Tuscarora 50 for wing sprint cars out in Pennsylvania next weekend. Still a lot of big races coming up. And next Saturday night, USAC non-wing sprint cars at Lucas Oil Speedway a week from tonight.
Right.
So that's kind of what's on the card here over the next several days. So I'm going to watch a little college football and a lot of racing today and through the rest of the weekend. Some drag racing mixed in, too. Biggest drag race in the world is going on out at Indy.
All right, Track Talk is brought to you by Rod End Supply, featuring the POWRi Midwest Lightning Sprints. We want to thank our guests, Austin McCarl and Xavier Doney, today.
Hey, before we go, I just wanted to, what did you think of that race at Daytona last week?
Pretty good race.
Ryan Blaney wins that. That was 4 wide at the finish.
Yeah, it was a good race.
That
big one happened like in stage 1.
You know what? You know what was amazing is Blaney was like 13th with 3 laps to
Yeah,
go, and
yeah.
somehow he won that race. How did he do that?
He was my pick too.
You picked him.
I picked him and I even said in the show, I still think if you're 15 back with 2 laps left, if you're with 15, in the top 15, you still have a chance to win this thing. And damn, if I wasn't pretty darn close on that too, Kurt.
Is Blaney the best driver on these big racetracks, the Talladega and
Yeah,
Daytona
now that you don't have the juniors out there, and Kurt Busch, they're not, in this thing no more. I think Blaney's the guy when you go to these. They're not restrictor. We don't call them that no more, but these big super speedways. He's.
Well, the way he found his way to the front is kind of like what Dale Earnhardt did back in the day.
And Junior used to
you
do
were
it
at
too.
that race at Talladega back in 2000 when Earnhardt came from God knows where to win that race.
17th.
That's kind of what Blaney did the other day.
It was like you said. My pick did not look good, Kirk. When we were coming rolling around, I thought, boy, I was off.
You had to be jumping off the couch
and then
cheering for that.
I thought, there ain't no way. And he just kept coming through that field, and boy, all of a sudden he was there. And like you said, Kirk, within 2 laps left.
Yeah, he was 13th with 2 laps to go.
So, yeah.
The amazing part is Earnhardt coming from 17th.
At Talladega.
Right.
That was amazing. That was his last win, too, wasn't it?
It was.
And you were there to see it.
Whole different
I was
car
there
back
to
then.
see it.
So,
Anyway. Whole different machine now.
Hey, I was there for his last Daytona race as well.
Yes, you were. You were there the day he lost his life.
Right.
Yeah. So you've seen a lot of great races. So anyway, we got a lot of races to look at here this weekend, and we'll be here next Saturday morning live as we always are, but no show on Monday.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in to Track Talk. It's all brought to you by Rod End Supply, featuring the POWRi Midwest Lightning Sprints. We want to thank our guests, Austin McCarl, Xavier Doney.
Thanks as always, Todd. Great job.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good day off. Have a good everybody out there, Labor Day. Take it easy. I think we have a cool weekend this weekend.
Love it.
What are you going to do on Labor Day?
We're having a little, I don't know, they're calling for maybe a little rain maybe on Monday afternoon, so I don't know. But maybe
we haven't had rain for a while.
Haven't had it in a while, so we're going to have a little barbecue next door, and my stepdad's, we're kind of trying to get his house together because he's going to be moving pretty soon, so we're just kind of getting everything. My kid's in town, so who knows what's going to happen. I know that we have a 3-day weekend, and everybody's happy about that around my house, so
right.
That's what they're all looking forward to.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in to Track Talk. It's all brought to you by Rod End Supply, featuring the POWRi Midwest Lightning Sprints. We want to thank our guests, Xavier Doney and Austin McCarl. For Todd Surprise, for Kirk Elliott, I'm Scott Traylor saying thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.